What is good, everyone? Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays from the Black Wealth Rebels. Today, we are going to talk about the psychology of spending. Yeah, it's that's a huge topic right there. The psychology of spending, man. But something that we got to talk about. My name is Jimmy. I got my brother Corey with me. Kamari should be here shortly, but we want to make sure we get the party started. What's up, Corey? How are you, good brother?
Man, I'm living, so I ain't gonna complain too much about that, man.
Hey, listen, man. Life be lifing, man. So just waking up every day is a blessing, right?
Man, the world is a crazy place, bro. Like the world is a crazy place. So I'm just happy to
Yeah,
be
yes, it is, man. So what's new in your world, bro?
new. Nothing new, man. Just college is extorting me for money. Um,
Yeah, it's great. What's up, Shelby? I see Shelby in the building already. What's up, Shelby? How are you, good brother?
really good, Shelby. I got four kids. My birthday, tomorrow. So I'm working on that. I ain't really doing like it ain't you know, nothing new under the sun, just
Yeah.
basic stuff. You know
Like
what I mean?
Don is in the building. In fact, with my earbuds on so I can hear you better, good brother. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, hold
Because
on
two
1 second. I
things,
got you. Here we go.
yeah, two things happen, man. Like you get old enough where you don't care.
Yes, tomorrow's the big day, man. We gonna be outside for your birthday, man.
Oh,
Even though Kamari sold it. I mean, in fact, I'm gonna save my Kamari standard to when he's here. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. No,
So I'm
no
gonna chill right
slander
now.
behind his back, man. We got I I I don't really do too much, man. I just try to stay out the way because the more I get in the way, like I used to really try to get in the way. Like I used to try to be where all the action was at. And I realized that was a bad way to live, man. Like, so I stay away from all the action, bro. Unless, it's to fight for my people, man. I got a higher purpose now, man. I don't want no action that don't move everybody forward. What's really good with you, Jim?
Terrell's in the building. Yo, what's about to say to you, Corey? Hey, what is the feedback you heard thus far about the movie Sinners, man?
Uh,
If anything.
I've heard a little bit of feedback. Um, Religious people don't like it. Um, all the religious people I know hated it, Um, Anybody that is not stuck in the religious ways, though, I heard good things from. So that's been the feedback I've been getting. So the religious amongst my friends hate that joint with a passion, but the non-religious, they like that
Don, look
joint.
at that. Look what Don said.
So there you go. I don't really,
I mean,
I don't really take
what
movie
else is even in
reviews.
contention though? What else could even be in contention?
See, I don't really do reviews. Like, I don't really listen to nobody movie reviews because there's two things about me most people don't know. I've never been disappointed by a movie because I never go in with an expectation of what the movie is. I don't really care. Like, I only care once I'm watching the movie that I'm entertained in some kind of way. So, like, I'm never disappointed by a movie unless um I'm expecting violence and there's none. That's really it. So if I go in with an expectation of high violence and I don't get that, then then,
Yeah.
I'm not expecting high violence. So now I'm just looking for the story, the acting. I don't want to see no Zeus act, Zeus acting and no Tubi acting. You know what I mean? So other than that, if the acting is not just purely atrocious, then I'm good.
Yeah. Hold up real quick. We're gonna get into it in a minute. I'm just trying to get this. I got some technical difficulties. So Jarrell says the music aspect was kind of dope. But other than that, it was all right. So it's a little bit different here. Don's saying the best movie of 2025. He's saying other than the music is kind of dope. So, I mean, I can't really give a perspective because until we see it tomorrow, I can't really give a perspective. But
Yeah, I'm gonna be talking. I'm gonna be talking heavy about it on Friday. I'm gonna say my pieces. So
So
be
that
prepared.
should be interesting going to see that with
Yeah,
with our folks tomorrow, man. But we're
I'm
gonna
fully
definitely talk about
prepared.
the
One of us is
psychology of
going to
money.
leave here.
But go ahead, hold it down real fast, Corey, because I gotta go fix it. Hold on 1 second, man. Talk to the
Yeah.
folks real fast.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, I'm fully prepared. One of us is going to leave here on Friday, so I'm definitely going to go see that joint tomorrow. Again, I'm not a fan or not a fan of anything, of any genre. Like I generally don't watch supposed horror movies because if it's a horror movie and it don't scare me, you know what I mean? Like I ain't really for that, and like the plot twists and all of that kind of stuff. I like to be pleasantly surprised by that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that I get the experience that I'm supposed to get from seeing the joint. Um, and then just culturally, I'm hoping I get the kind of experience I'm looking for, right? Because I see a lot of black faces on that joint, so hopefully I get the cultural experience I'm looking for when I go see this joint.
Yeah. All right, we shall see, man. I apologize, y'all. It was my devices was acting kind of crazy right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Kamari threw me for a wrench before we jumped on, so I had to get it all together, man. But we good. So I mean that's what's going on. What else is going on in the world right now, man? Because we're gonna talk about the psychology of money, but I want to do a quick check with our folks to see what y'all talking about, man. Because it's a lot of nonsense on my timeline, man. It's a lot
Yeah,
of nonsense on my timeline. Folks talking about Shannon Sharp, NBA playoffs. Basically
yo,
nothing in substance.
the only thing that I'm worried about right now is what the boy that's leading our country is leading us into. Like
Okay.
I'm because he's giving direction. Like I'm not specifically worried about him,
Mm-hmm.
but the direction that this country is going. Um, I've always been, I would say, skeptical
Okay.
about. I would say skeptical about how things, because I've always been skeptical because I can read, right, and I
Mm-hmm.
understand the the way this country is the way this country is set up. So the thing that concerns me about what they do, right, is because, right, when I look at the two names that they use for the two things that they're doing, which is Make America Great Again and Project 2025, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of those are timestamp things, which
Mm-hmm.
means they're trying to do some crazy reckless stuff within a set period of time, right? Because uh, the word again, see, words have meaning, and then that the word again is a time frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Project 2025 is a time frame,
Mm-hmm.
right? So anything that has to deal with time concerns me, which means they're trying to f up somebody's time, right? Because if he's making America great again, then something else has there's two sides, there's balance in the world. So if America's going to be great again, then that has connotations for some people, because for some people in this country that look like me and you, who have our skin tone, America's never been great. So if you're making
Yeah.
America great again, who are you making it great for?
So for me, I don't put any energy or thought into anything that boy do because at the end of the day gonna end, and he gonna do whatever he gotta do, whether I put thought into it or not, right? So for me, and this doesn't just go for him. It goes for him and people before him and people after him. There's nothing wrong with that because there's a lot of people that have to focus on that. There's people that on the front lines who that's what they deal with. That's not any way I can add value. So for me, I'm aware of what's going on, but I'm aware of what's going on because of the market. I like to see how things affect the market, but
Well,
I don't get a tizzy about like, his slogans or what he's saying because that's gonna happen regardless.
so there's two things with that. The Project 2025 stuff is jacking up my stuff with my kids, right? So I was just talking about colleges trying to extort me, right? So this is what happens, right? So um what I owe for the rest of the semester for my son, the balance is about 6 racks, but I've been paying that joint the whole time. So his next payment wasn't due till today, right? But yesterday before I could even make the payment today, they cut off his joint to the cat. They cut off his card and his access card to the cat. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy because I've been paying y'all monthly for the last 2.5 years.
So no, now hear me out. So I know people. Listen, one of my nephews works in for a program. It's an anti-recidivism program, and they already put the word out. Like federal funding is what pays for a lot of that, and it's going to be gone. So I know people directly affected by what he's saying, but that's not what I'm saying. That it doesn't affect people because it does affect people. But what I'm saying is, what are you going to do about it? Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because people, and it's funny. I see this online all the time. People get upset at me because they be going on like tirades and rants. I'm like, all right, so what are you doing about it? What's your response to that? Is your response to just post, or is your response to actually do something?
So I have two responses. My first response is to educate, right? Because I got to put people on to really what's going on, right? Because some people are just fully unaware of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I need the people around me to be fully aware of what's going on. So when I make certain moves, they know what those moves mean. And then the second thing that I do is I prepare like it's going to be a fight. And I don't want to get too deep into that, but I'm preparing like it's going to be some action to be had. And I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay, I mean, listen, that's taking action. That's actually doing something. You know what I mean? By the way, I mean, as they say on, as they say on, what's the app? Chatty House. Let me reset the room. So today we are talking about the psychology of spending, right? So what does that entail? And you know why are we spending the way that we spending? When I say why are we, I'm talking about our people, right? So why ball out and burnout is what Kumari put in the topic, you know. So we're gonna talk about the psychology of that. But first I want to give a shout out to everybody in the village. And if you're not in the village, please join. You can go to blackwealthrebels.com to join our village. That's where we build at. I've been in there this week. You know, had a last 2 days have been last 3 days trading have been crazy. So I cracked the market on Monday. I got cracked on Tuesday, cracked the market again today. And I'm sitting there like, I went through all that nonsense and I think I'm up like 160. No, matter of fact, not even 160. I think I'm up like $68. Yo, that's how wild the swings were, bro. I'm talking about making a couple hundred, losing a couple hundred, making a, you know, and then, by the way, this is just my SPY day-to-day trades. And for those in the village, you can see me trade. You know, I got cracked yesterday. I talked about that. I cracked the market today. But I'm just sitting there like, yo, this market, this volatility, this market, if you're on the wrong side of a trade, bro, it's nasty.
Yeah. So,
but here's the other part. Oh, here's the inverse. If you want the right side of the trade, like today, dog, today I cracked them for like 500-600 in a couple minutes. But that's how the market is, right? So the market is there are a lot of people right now who are traders, investors, who are going to get wealthy based upon what's going on in the market.
So the whole time the bull was dumping the market, I was buying hard shares. I was just buying hard shares. I might have made 2 trades because I personally like the market to settle before I trade, because I like to know where I like the way when companies know what to do, right? So two things are concerning me about the market. One, the gold and the dollar are not moving inverse to the market. They're moving the same way, whatever way the market moves. That is concerning.
No, not really. No. That's not true. Gold is actually doing the inverse. Gold is doing what it's supposed to. Gold is at an all-time high right now because the market was dumping.
Yeah.
Gold right now is higher than it's ever been in the history of the world. It's over like $3,500.
Yeah,
like $3,500 an ounce.
That was the other part I was going to say. That's concerning to me because gold generally doesn't move that much. So like the volatility, like we got the VIX at like 60 or something weird, something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you got gold at an all-time high. Normally gold doesn't go that high because people go into bonds, but then when people figured out that all these other countries own our debt with those bonds, people stop going into bonds and start going more into gold.
So here's the thing, right? If anybody's in the village, by the way, again, shout out to all our new members. We got a bunch of new members in the village. But if you go to the village, back there in the classes, there's an actual precious metals course that I created years ago, right? So at this point, it's been years. I remember in creating that precious metals course, if you watch it, I think gold was like $1,500 to $1,600 an ounce when I did the
Yep.
course. So it's more than doubled since then. So gold has been going actually the inverse of the dollar. It's completely nuts. But that also gives me, and I actually mentioned this on the last episode of Stack Sats of Die Trying, which is already available in the village. It's not available on YouTube yet. It will be in a couple of days, but it's already in the village right now for those who want to check it out. It also gives me an indication that people still don't even understand Bitcoin right now, and that's a good thing for me because I'm still stacking like crazy. Now, with that being said, the market itself is so volatile. But one of the things that, and I'm going to say this, and it's probably something that we should have said on a Sunday on the options class. When you have an option, right, and you're losing money, there's always somebody on the other side of that, and vice versa, right? So a trade, whether it's a good trade or bad trade, there's always somebody on the other side. So even when you have a bad trade, somebody's cooking right now. And I bring that up because when these markets are dropping the way they're dropping, y'all better believe people are running the bag up. People are running the bag up. So people are making money. That's the great thing about the stock market, right? It's like people make money every day. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of being on the right side of whatever's going on. Shout out to Dina. I see Dina in the chat because Dina said she had a rare week last week. You can put these comments up as a matter of fact. Shout out to JT Coin Rings for the super chat. JT was really good. JT is a village member. We appreciate you, JT, as always. Bruce is in the building. What's up, Bruce? Yeah, man. What's good? What's good, beloved? You know what I'm saying? I love red days. Yeah, man. Red days is when you get to that green. Dina said I had a red week last week trading. I'm having my most profitable week this week. So Dina's kicking ass this week. And by the way, Dina posts her trades in our group for those that are in our group. And you know what I'm saying? So any member can see our when we're in there talking trading and whatnot. So shout out to Dina. She said gold has been flying as the dollar dropped. Absolutely. And JC said it's 35. I said 35. I exaggerated a little bit. But it's $3,400 an ounce, which is still crazy work. Like I said, it was $1,500, $1,600 when I did that course. Crazy work for gold to be $3,400 an ounce. And to the build, Anthony to the builder. Y'all can't not laugh every time I see his his icon, yo.
His avatar. It's crazy weird.
Yo, I was thinking about Nate today, yo. For those who don't know, I got some new glasses, right? So these Johns is the smart glasses though. And I was thinking about this. I was walking downtown today and I was like, somebody who's a creep who got these Johns is going to be crazy because you can sneak pictures and videos whenever you feel like it, yo. I'm like, yo, good thing I'm not a Nate character because Nate would be out here, with all the young girls, like, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's wild though.
Now ain't time to be talking about old heads with young girls.
Yeah. Shay say the muddy the waters, man. He out of control, yo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but shout out to Meta though. Meta cook with these joints, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, look cool. I can take a pic. All I gotta do is go boom like that, right? You see it light up, but boom. Let's took a picture. Yeah. See how nasty work that could be? Yeah, that could be some nasty work. Also, you can get creative with it because you could do video too. So never mind, I'm gonna chill. All right, so Anthony says Nate definitely goes to Club Shay Shay. Yo, all right, I'm gonna say this, right? I ain't got a lot of bars for Shay Shay because he a bunny hopper. It is what it is now. But I also feel like, dude, you in your mid 50s, dog. Like, what you doing out here with 19-year-old OnlyFans chicks? Like, what you doing? What are you doing? It's kind of say me and you and Kamari was on the phone last night, and I was like, the problem with a lot of these dudes is they haven't been these dudes until they, get a certain level of success, and then they start acting out of control. Yeah, I mean, people, in the words of our brother David Williams, man, people got to learn to control themselves, man. They got to control their spirit, man. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be behaving that way, bro. Like,
you can.
but you got. What I'm saying is, like, when you get in, and you're elevating the world, you get in certain spaces, you got to move different.
All I say is this, right? We wrote a book about time and space, right?
Yes.
We wrote a book about owning your time and space, right? So this is what I'll say about that. You worked. You've been playing football since you was five years old. You succeeded at that. You became a Hall of Fame football player. Then you transitioned your career from being a Hall of Fame football player to being one of the biggest podcasters in the world. And you got a television deal with ESPN that's paying you multiple $1 million a year to be on TV, right? So you put in, well, he 55, 56 years old. You didn't spend the last 50 years of your life building all of this up, all of this,
Mm-hmm.
and you gave it away to some 20-year-old bunny because she wants your man meat, and she trying to have black babies. And I'm gonna tell you why, and whether he believed or not believe, he played himself, man. So whether he did what she said he did or he didn't do, that's a matter of personal opinions. I don't really know if he did it or if he didn't do it, because I don't want to disbelieve women when they say they've been raped, but she is her circumstances are very, very suspect, and it's hard to believe her story. But again, I don't want to be that person because I don't want to poop on nobody pain. Because if he really did what she said he did, he a piece of shit and he deserve to burn in hell. But I think like I don't know if it's, well, not to her, but to everybody else, the bigger story is how he's playing himself out of, like, he played himself out of position. Like, he just gave away 50 years of his life. Like, because even if he win, he's still going to lose. Like, you just gave away all that time, bro. Like,
But this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when you get in certain positions, you can't move the same, right? If I work on District Council 33 in Philadelphia as a sanitation worker, right? I can move a certain way. If I then become the mayor of Philadelphia, I can't move the same way as somebody who's a trash man. And what I'm saying is, you got to understand your position in this world, right? Like, this is the problem, right? I mean, listen, if you want to be the spirit of tricking is in you, it's going to be in you, right? But there's even ways to do that. Like, messing with a 19-year-old OnlyFans chick, bro. Like, first of all, like, I'm gonna be completely transparent with y'all. Like, I'm not even as old as Shannon. I couldn't be messing with no 19. That's wild to me. But that's it. Listen, they're both adults. Do what you want to do, but it's just. But you gotta understand
being legal and being right. Like, that's goofy.
It's goofy, but what I'm saying is also, dog. Like, yo, think about your thoughts and your ideas about the world when you were 19 versus where you are now, right?
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying? Like, so understand what her mind is, and there's no disrespect to Shorty. It's like, yo, but you're 19, and you're in your mid 50s, bro. It's like, it's funny because someone I saw on the internet today, someone played a clip of Monique when Monique was on there, and she told him, like, you gotta stop messing with these young girls. You need to get you a woman your age. Like, he like, no, but this is what comes with that, man. Listen, man, these young girls out here, dog, they don't even care. They be putting cats out there blowing their own bags by drawing. I'm not saying that's what she's doing because I don't even know. Like, I didn't even get into the specifics of what she's accusing because, to be honest with you, I don't even know what she's accusing. I just know Bo was messing with a 19-year-old and he got too much to lose to be out here acting that way. So it is what it is, man. All I'm saying is, as you elevate in the world, understand your position and understand what you have to protect and understand how to move. You can't move the same. That's all I'm saying. You got to move different. I mean, and Shelby says it's not his first time getting accused. He's been down this road before. That's nasty work too. Having that on your jacket is crazy. He should know the game as long as he's been around.
Like, having it on your jacket is crazy.
Yeah. Shannon is off the hook with his move.
Is absolutely nefarious. But I will say, when you as famous as he is, it's not as crazy as somewhat.
No, it's more crazy work, dog. Because there's people and places for people at that stature, dog. Listen, and I know this to be a fact because there are certain people who have a stellar reputation that I know engage in underworld activities, and you'll never find it out because they move the way you're supposed to move. Like, listen, man.
I'll say this. I was just watching forget what I was watching, but the young boy from the wide receiver, the one who they just drafted, the one who scored the touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
His girlfriend accused him of beating the hell out of her, and if he didn't have home surveillance cameras, young boy would have been toast, bro. Because as much as she was saying that he was beating on her, she was slapping the shit out of boy, and she was and she told him what she was going to do. And then she tried to do it. And if he didn't have a home surveillance system, a home camera, he'd have been out of there. So
yeah, but he's not 54-year-old man, dog.
But I'm just saying the accusations don't necessarily mean that you really out there doing the stuff that people saying you do. Because when you got money, people try to play against you like you got way more to lose, so they start to say and do things.
So hear me out though. I don't even know what her accusation is. So I'm not talking about the accusation. I'm talking about putting yourself in a space where there can even be any kind of. Yeah, I don't even know what that. No, I swear on everything. I don't even know what her full accusation is or what she's accusing him of doing. Because listen, for lack of a better word, dog. I'm in 2025. One of the things I'm trying to do is, man, shouldn't say it the way I'm ready to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway, man. I'm trying to stay away from the nigger news, man. I'm focused on building
for sure
entities and institutions and trying to do the right thing, man. It doesn't mean I don't like laughing. I don't like memes and stuff like that, but certain stuff like certain stuff is just beyond me. And that's one of those things where I started like, you know what I mean? Like I'm on something else right now, man. But so I don't even know what the full accusations are, but when I see someone who's damn near 60, you know, you spending quality and intimate time with a 19-year-old, what you doing, yo? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you? I feel sorry for that, man. And listen, I can't speak to him because I don't know him personally, but I've seen it in the real world. And most of the time I see it in the real world, it's because those dudes.
They didn't get no action when they was that age.
All right, there you go. So that Corey said what I was trying to think of a way to say it, man. You know what I mean? So in the words of my brother Don John, down with the fire bars. He sound like he channeled Pastor with this one. The only way to guarantee you don't get into a car accident is to never drive. Kamari, I'm glad you just showed up because I just used one of the words that you hate, and I had to kind of express myself.
Oh, I heard you.
Okay,
I was very disappointed, but it's okay.
Is he coming on? Yo, listen, man. I know you ain't talking about this now. You sold us out when we supposed to be hanging out as a family tomorrow. You sold us out, but I digress, though. But I digress. We supposed to be hanging out for Corey's birthday, and you said F Corey, you ain't showing up. But I digress.
First of all, I didn't know it was Corey's birthday.
And that's even worse.
You have to know.
I did not know. I did not
know. It
know.
was actually posted in the group chat.
Listen, I'm having plumbing problems, heating problems. I ain't got time to be looking up goddamn group chat.
You see, y'all. So y'all see this our bro, right? Y'all see this? Y'all see this?
Man, listen, man. PGW and my clients are running me through the ringer, so I apologize, Corey.
Hey, man, listen, man.
I will buy. I'm talking to Corey, man. Hold on.
I'm out of it.
I'm going to try to make it. I will buy you a great drink if you are available. If not, at that time, at another time.
Yeah, hold on, we getting together Saturday anyway, so basically Saturday on you.
Yeah, because I don't drink either.
I'm the only one that drink. Shit.
Yeah, man. Listen,
as an aside, I do want to say this too. Speaking of that, right? Speaking of that, someone to Kamari, I think it was like last week or something. I don't know when it was, but the main man said, yo, you boring. I said, why you call me boring? He said, you don't drink, you don't smoke. I'm like, why is that a measurement of whether I'm boring or not? Because I don't like to drink alcohol or use any sort of narcotic, I'm boring. I said, yo, what's wrong with you, yo?
Hey,
anyway.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of libation every now and again. Even
man.
Daiquiri. It's all good.
Let me catch up on these comments. Let me catch up on these comments.
Libations, bro. I own the bar. And that's part of the reason why I don't drink no more.
I respect. Never respect on that. I get it.
He woke up in random spaces with too many 304s. So let's move on.
I did not. I was a married man at the time I owned this bar. So that is not what happened.
That's not true. All right, I apologize. All right, let me JT says Shannon's off the hook with this move. He definitely played himself. And Steve said, he was doing race play too. Oh man, he got to control. I didn't even know that part. Anthony says, truth be told, Shannon was busy clowning Zion Williamson, but look at him. Yeah, I mean, listen, karma. Hey, what's up, Lorraine? Miss Maui's in the building. Happy Wednesday to you as well. Should have just hit the fig. If you know, you know. Oh, he was already in the comments. Come on, I didn't even see that. Yeah, I'm trying to get beyond that, man. The only way to guarantee you don't get out here, Don said that's a bar. Could have gotten a professional escort, some NDAs, and he would have been solid. He too busy chasing Snow Bunny 304s. I mean, listen, there are systems set up for people at that level. That's all I'm gonna say. Allegedly, your average logical thinker says, prayer hands for state. Listen, man, that's what I'm trying to do, man, because it's just too much, man. It's too much.
By the way, I just want to let everybody know Jimmy got that from me.
What's that?
Staying away from the nigga news.
I don't know if I ever heard you say that exact phrase, but that is what I.
In a more fly way.
Oh, maybe you did. Maybe I didn't mean it.
I'm trying to escape the nigga verse.
Oh, see, I wasn't even thinking about that when I said that. I just want to stay away from it. And and by the way, you got a lot of nerve using the word. Is where you got me feeling bad. Every time I say the word now, I feel bad because Kamari shamed me. So
my job has been done. My job is done.
Okay. Anyway, Snow Bunny freelance 304s. I got what you meant. You definitely should know Corey's B-Day is on my calendar. Listen, Miss Mal, we love you. That's why we love you, man. Listen, man.
Miss Maui's the goal. Lorraine's the goal. Shout out to Lorraine.
Yeah, listen, we appreciate Lorraine and Kamari. You did know that though, because listen, Tracy was talking about it in the chat. Like it's Corey's birthday. You know.
Listen, I'm not joking. Like PGW has been running me through the ringer this week.
I got you.
I ain't got no gas, y'all. I ain't got no gas.
Shelby, tell him again, man. Listen, all of us don't own huge commercial properties, man. But I mean, like, Kamari got some big money problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's he out here dealing with the big money problems.
I'm broke.
Rich says I got more SLD at 290. Listen, I caught some fold this week as well, Rich. I'm that's my thing. Not investment advice.
Is that what we doing? FLD at 290?
Well, listen, FLD is one of the only individual companies I own. It's a Bitcoin play, to be honest with you. But I'm a huge fan of their product, their service, their customer service, everything. So, it's a Bitcoin proxy. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, it's 16 right now.
Yeah, listen. Anytime it drops 10%, I mean, now there's a couple ways to look at it. Before Doofus got in office, it was like $11. So I mean, it's a lot of ways you can look at it. Yeah, we came up over the last couple of days, but it is what it is, man.
Okay.
Steve said the new channel is NNN. So Kamari, before you joined us, we were talking. We didn't even make it to the main topic yet because we went into this whole tirade about Uncle Shay Shay, as they call him. And what's going on in the niggaverse with Uncle Shay Shay. So, I was just saying that, in my opinion, I don't even know what the full accusations are because I'm staying away from that kind of nonsense. But at his big age, as they say, you got to be careful of the different spaces you put yourself in. And that was kind of like, what we were talking about, us as well as everybody watching. You know what I mean? But we're going to get into the main topic soon. I know you got some thoughts on this. What's your thoughts?
I got 2 thoughts on it. So I heard what you said, but is Shannon older than Nate?
Probably.
I don't think Shannon is older than Nate.
Probably.
And y'all love Nate. So Shannon's just doing his Nate tickle.
No, see, you're wrong. It's a huge difference. Oh, first of all, King Nate that's in the building. I want y'all to cook Kamari for this.
Wait a minute. Let me finish.
Nate never had a bunny, but go ahead though.
We don't know that. We do know that.
We don't know that. But other thing, my real thought, I find it interesting that Tony Busby is the lawyer who's the ambulance wreck chaser dude who's always trying to take down black male celebrities. That's number one. Number two, his $100 million deal comes out or is leaked and this comes. I find that quite interesting. The timing of it all is quite interesting.
So what happens is they tried to stick my man up before this deal happened. They tried to stick my man up in February. And
they've been trying to stick him up. They was trying to,
They tried to stick my man up in February and he told him to kick rocks. And he said, listen, he didn't even tell him to kick rocks for free. He said, I'll give you $10 million to kick rocks. Get away from me. And she was like, no, I'm going to go tell the boy Busby and we're going to go really get this money.
So I got a couple questions, right? So the first part is this, right? I have to say this. Nate was never accused of some of the things that you know, he was never accused of some of these things that
Because it
the
was
man is
before
gonna.
his time. It was before his time.
Listen, I mean, as someone said, I think it was who was it that said it in the chat? I think it might have been someone said it's not the first time, it's not the first rodeo. So he's been accused of this before. All right, but now the other part about it is there's no bunnies, and he didn't give back to the community. That's the one thing. See, Nate was taking care of the community. He wasn't taking care of the community because when you take care of the community, you don't have people that defend you and make sure that none of this kind of stuff ever happens.
That's not true. That's not true. That is
What's
not
not
true.
true? What's not true?
Malcolm X. Martin Luther King.
Oh, we're not bringing those names up in this conversation, dog. That's what we're not going to do. I'm talking about in the underworld. I'm talking about navigating the underworld. You're trying to take it somewhere else.
Now
You're not bringing them names up. You're not bringing up those ancestors right now, dog. You're not doing that, dog.
There's a flaw in your premise, sir. People will take you out regardless.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we're comparing operating in the underworld, man. Like Nate never had these accusations because Nate was putting people through college, man. And Nate also didn't mess with the bunnies, man. My other because you definitely bring a different conversation. But my other point is the dude that's the attorney, like he got some sick fetish too, like because he's been proven, like with a couple of these suits that he was just out here chasing. It's like, dude, like why do you keep putting your license on the line like that? What's wrong with you?
Because he's an ambulance chaser. That's why.
Wow, bro. But go ahead though. Give your thoughts real fast. Hold on 1 second.
That's all I got. I can't believe nothing that Tony Busby does has any credibility. And I'm not victim shaming. I'm just saying that he has a track record of wreck chasing. That's it.
I'm sorry, I was muted. But yeah, I mean, but I just don't understand like his need, to consistently do this when you keep getting put out there like that.
I guess.
I mean, what's wrong with the boy? Hey, Corey, you all right, bro? Corey got quiet on this, man. Corey must be over there.
He running a parlay.
Oh, okay, running a parlay. All right.
I told you they tried to stick me up at the college with my son, man. So I had to send him with Alice because they locked his car so he couldn't go to the calf, man.
Yeah, so let me get back to this, man. That we can get into the main topic, man. Because Kamar, you're gonna lead us to that main topic. But Steve said that he's just Shay now. Unk status revoked. Yeah. The average logical thinker asked a great question. Was she in the bind though? Kamar say that.
Physically, yes.
Nate had an age requirement and never snow buddies. No, Jim gonna have mixed emotions because it involves the S-dub. See, this is what happens with Kamari. Kamari creates his narrative, yo. I got nothing to do with that life. I got nothing to do with their life, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just support all black-owned businesses. That's it. I support all black-owned businesses. I support black-owned businesses to a fault, man.
All right, so I know we're a little off topic now, and I'm sorry.
I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what Waldo told. I don't care what Waldo told y'all. Being a black-owned business is important, and I support that. But go ahead, though. I'm sorry.
I feel you, but I know we're a little off topic.
Pause.
This is Wealthy Wednesdays. We try to do things in a cool and educational manner. But Jimmy, do you have that new Mount Rushmore you were showing us? I think it was Don, matter of fact.
No, I mean, no, we were talking about it we were talking about it that morning before Don tagged us in the post, but Don definitely brought it. Hold up, Don be in the underworld more than I do, dog. Y'all gotta stop with this narrative, man.
I think you and Don be running together personally.
JT says I don't think she was in the bind. She should have took that 10. She got some bad legal advice. I mean, it was trying to, and it said it's a tape getting ready to drop. Sounds similar to what happened to Michael Irvin at the Marriott. Yeah, Mike was on that powder though, but that's either here nor there. He had a case in 2015.
Listen,
yeah, I agree.
I think Shay is innocent until proven guilty. That's all I got.
I mean, you got.
That's all I got. That's all I got, though.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. You say so.
Sorry, not sorry.
That underworld life was enjoyable for the most part. Off topic, but that daylight versus Rum Nitty was fire. Rich, here's what I tell you about this, yo. Rum Nitty might be the best doing it right now. I ain't even gonna hold you. because, and for those who don't know what he's talking about a battle rap with Daylight versus Rum Nitty. And Rum Nitty had Daylight flips that I've never heard before. Like his name is Daylight, so there's a lot of flips that can happen. But Rum Nitty left the planet. Rum Nitty's the best doing it right now. I'm sorry, man. And salute to all the legends. You know, this folks, you know, legends. But right now, I'm talking about actively right now. Ain't nobody better than Bull. I'm sorry, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? You know, that's my little side tangent about battle rap. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a battle rap analyst, by the way. You know. Anyway, this is part of the problem right here. No discipline, right? You know.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
I'm not gonna say the whole thing, but no discipline. Pause. I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to chill, but you anyway. That is a huge problem. That's a huge problem in our community. But we know we're gonna say that could be its own show.
I mean, I think that's a problem in every community, though.
Yeah, we can get some red pill folks on to talk about, you know, how they became red pill folks, and that's what it's going to be, you know, pretty much.
That does contribute to balling out and burning out, though. If you want to
talk about that. Yes. Oh, look, I like what you did right there. So, man, with that being said, though, man,
out and burning out. Let me tell you, because I was that crash out. I can tell you, I used to be a crash out. Now, I can tell you this: I never. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I never directly did that, but I'm not going to lie and say that I didn't. But I never crashed out to the point where my bank account got affected. Like I don't know what people be doing with that, like losing whole like paychecks and losing whole. Like they losing their house and their home to this stuff. Like, man, what are y'all doing?
Hey, man, look at Tiger Woods, dog. Tiger Woods, what he did for the nookie. Tiger, man, went crazy for the nookie.
Tiger lost $500 million playing with, man. What?
All right, so I got a couple questions. Let me get to this though. Steve said, check out ticker CEP. I'm looking at it now. Cantor Equity Partners. See, I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with them.
Oh, I thought.
Go ahead, Kumar.
I thought that was a closed-end mutual fund. All right. Cantor Equity Partners.
No, it's Cantor Equity Partners. Damn, they up. Hold on. I'm on a. What chart is this? This year they up 55%. What do they do? Yo, Steve, what do they? I mean, I could look it up later, but maybe you can put it in the chat. What do they do? They up 55%. That's nuts. Excellent parlay, Corey. Yeah, Corey just hit us with a broadcaster, parlay. He tied the topics together. Very, very great. Dr. Seth Talks Money. What's going on? How are you? Thank you for pulling up.
What up, Dr. Seth?
Balling not with the other balls.
Yeah. Thinking with the wrong head.
Don says inflation is crazy. These SWs are charging an arm and a leg. LOL. Allegedly, because Don don't really know about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put that on my brother Don. Pause. But anyway, listen, man. We gotta talk about the main topic. Before we do, though, remember, if you're not a member of the village, to join the village by going to blackwealthrebels.com. Salute to all of our new village members. If you're in the village, share it out with folks as well, because we're just looking to, kind of get folks off of these platforms because they be hating on us. I'll tell y'all one thing that you may or may not know. Just because of the name of our company, Black Wealth Rebels, the algorithms hate on us. Literally.
And it's documented.
We get
it's documented hate. Yeah, documented hate.
We getting flagged, bro.
I was told by one of these platforms, I'm not going to say the name, let's just call it Basebook. Basebook at one point, told me that Black Wealth was a derogatory term, but I digress. Anyway, I say all that to say we got to get y'all in the village for the day they clap us for good. So, blackwealthrebels.com, man. By the way, Kamara, I was sharing with Corey earlier that I got some new glasses, right? I told you yesterday when I was, when on my way to pick the joints up, man. But these joints
geeking out.
Dog, listen, I told him, I was like, it occurred to me that these joints probably should be illegal. They probably should be. Because if you're a creep dude, you can do all kinds of sorts of craziness with these joints. Yeah, it's wild. But you know what I mean? So I'm looking at it from a real estate standpoint when I start doing walkthroughs in these different, spots. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild though. It's gonna be wild. But I was saying that I was gonna say that, if you were like part of the West Coast Productions lifestyle, you could use these for a whole different reason because they capture video. But anyway, listen.
I'm running a narrative.
Without nothing crazy. What's the price tag on them joints?
All right, so I drew a little bit. The price tag on the regular glasses is like $350 or something like that. But I
Okay,
got my prescription. I got my prescription put in with some transition lenses. So I kind of I went a little ridiculous with it. You know what I'm saying? So when I go outside, the sun hits. You know what I'm saying? I got my little Jack Nicholson vibe going on. But I digress. Though Anthony says Corey turned into Bob Costas with the bars. Yeah, he definitely. Yeah, I mean, hit us with a nice little. You know. Um. Okay, Molly just became the CEO. They did a SPAC. Will be under the ticker XX1, the Bitcoin Treasury Company. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was that company. Someone just put in one of our groups. I think, matter of fact, it might have been Rich.
It
Rich
was
just put
Rich.
all the information. It was Rich. Rich put all. Rich is in the chat right now. He actually just dropped the information about that. Um, so the thing about it is, and I probably should do a whole Stack Stats video on this. I often think about when I look at these proxy Bitcoin plays, right? Like a micro strategy or there's so many of them at this point, Coinbase, all these different plays that are quote unquote Bitcoin plays. And then I sit back and think, I'd rather have Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like, anyway, and shout out to Jack Mahler, man. I'm a fan of Jack Mahler from Stripe, and I use their product. I'm also a customer of Jack Mahler's. You got meta frames that, yeah, I got them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try them, rate them 1 through 10. Watch, I'm gonna take a pic for y'all real quick. Watch the little white light, Kamari. It's how to pick. You know what I'm saying? Boom, just like that. Anyway, X-ray vision or what?
Yeah, man. Don't be taking my picture, man. I'm using my image and likeness without mine. I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you.
Are the glasses covered by insurance? I mean, the frames. Yes, if you do have insurance, I mean, you could probably get a portion of that back. Like actually have vision insurance, and I didn't realize how trash it was till I got the glasses. I'm like, whoa, how much does it get towards glasses? Like, glasses are, first of all, that's the other part. I didn't wear glasses until the pandemic. And I went for my annual eye exam. My doctor was like, yo, you spending way too much time in front of the shop at Dr. Arkema,
Thank you.
who Kamari put me down with. Kamari said, I'm giving you your props. I told Kamari, I said, yo, I'm looking for an African American or a black, optometrist. He said, I got somebody for you. So shout out to Dr. She's actually my favorite doctor out of all my doctors because she got some sort of superpowers. But that's a whole other story. Anyway, during the pandemic, she said I spent way too much time in front of screens. So I said, like I say, once I got glasses and started doing research, you talk about scams. Like the glasses market is crazy. What they be charging for glasses are nuts. They're nuts.
Compared to what it costs to make them.
Yes. The markup on glasses, I didn't know that was a thing. Like, everything's a thing, but because I never had to buy none, I was never in that space. I didn't realize what the markup on glasses were. How much do you think it costs to make a pair of regular ass frames? And then look at what they
get out of pocket, bro. Listen, I just bought a pack of 20 pairs of sunglasses for my son for $8. 20. I bought a 20 pack, $8. That'll tell you how much they cost to me. I got the little, the sunglasses for the babies, for the kids. I got a 20 pack for $8, bro.
Yeah, they probably cost less than $5 for more to make an average pair of regular plastic glasses. Like the markup is nuts, though. The markup, I didn't realize. Like I'm like, yo, this is like a cartel here too. Every industry has a cartel, though. Like the glasses is no different. I didn't realize that, though. I didn't know that was a thing. You can make the glasses money in the future. They're gonna get busy in the futures. Just spent $380 for prescription shades, and they don't even transition. See what I mean? By the way, the average logical thinker, the shades you got on your profile pic are fire though. They look dope. So obviously you got good taste. I buy my glasses framed through online places and take them to get the prescription put in. That's how you gotta actually move. Contacts are relatively cheap. Y'all couldn't be a contact board. I couldn't see like having to put them in. That's Detroit's in the building. What up though? What's up, Jamil?
What up?
So Shelby, all right. Someone put me down with that ZLOOL, which their logo was funny to me because the LOOL looks like someone with glasses. But someone put me down with that, and they said you get your first pair for $7. So I went in, I'm like, all right, I made my first pair for $7. I made a pair of glasses. By the time I put my prescription and everything, and they was like, yeah, 75. Now that's still not bad though, but that's for the first pair. So Miss Maui, I should have that for Friday. So I did send him everything that was needed. I hit him up and all that. I should have that for Friday. I promise I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got my bottle. I already sticking them all up. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. But I got you this Friday. Pull up on Friday. I should have you for for Friday. So yes, I do have excellent taste. These are from okay.
Well, all y'all down with Zelo, and we just not finding out. I'm feeling kind of.
No, listen, some of them a lot of folks put me down with that. I've been down with it for a minute, but I'm just saying, like, once you add the stuff in, that stuff starts to add. There's only so much you can say.
25 pairs of glasses from there.
No, your wife got the other one because your wife put me down with the other site too. I'm gonna tell you what she sent me. That's it. Yeah, Zenny Optical is the one she put me down with. So I've been going back and forth between the two comparing, but and both of them are relatively good. You know what I'm saying? But like I didn't realize the markup was that crazy though. That's just something new to me. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we spend money out of emotions, and that's why the psychology of spending is such a problem for our community, man. Kamari, let's get into that.
Here we go.
Let's get into it. It is a problem in our community. I mean, what did they used to say before? We wear all our wealth on our back. That's a thing, and it's still a thing, or was a thing.
Who's that a quote from, by the way? I saw your quote, and I didn't know who you're quoting.
I'm not sure. And the correct quote was, when you couldn't own land, you wore your wealth on your back. And so a lot of times black folks couldn't own land. Like, that's real. We couldn't own property. And when we did own property, they would force us into these restricted areas through what's called redlining, which are now called ghettos, and stop everybody from either buying properties, getting life insurance, getting mortgages, and make the quality of life so unattainable that people just couldn't bear anything.
Yeah, listen.
Are we talking about Shannon Sharp? Oh man.
No. What you're saying is true.
But I think, like, if we talking about Shannon, right? And what he's doing, he's had a couple of sex scandals, right? That burnout, I believe, is also tied into the amount of money and success he's having right now. He didn't have none of these problems before, but now he's playing on this quote unquote online space, fighting for attention. So now all the stuff is letting loose. Pause.
But I think it's different too. I think the problem is he's trying to play in a different space, like you said, but like he's almost 60 years old. Like if you want to, be a bachelor at 60 and all that, like cool. But you can carry yourself a different way. But I think part of me, honestly, and this is just my opinion based upon how he carries himself and things he said. Again, I don't know this man, and I wish nothing but success for the brother. But I think part of it, he likes the attention. Yes. Right? Because you have the resources to move a whole different way when none of us would know none of your personal business, right? When you add that into like the leaking of the video before, it's like, dude, you out here clout chasing for. Listen, man, it's corny, man. Like,
I mean, he's the current day Nate, but he's just doing it online.
No, Nate is different, man. Nate is in the hood, like, looking out for. This is different, bro. Nate wasn't out here trying. When Nate wasn't out here clout chasing, bro. Nate didn't want attention.
He didn't.
He didn't want attention. Put it like this: if you woke up tomorrow and you saw Shannon, you saw Shannon.
Different.
He wanted intimate attention. I'm talking about this dude. Like he low key want to be a rapper, dog. Like he out here trying to live like a YN fantasy or something. Like it's kind of disturbing.
The only thing was Nate came about during the era where social media wasn't alive. That's all.
Listen, man.
How many Nates are around now? How many get that money because of Nate? Current day Nates. But in all seriousness, I mean, when you look at slavery, the denial of ownership, Jim Crow, segregation, we now have forced consumerism because we have commercials beating down our back every single second of the day. There's a stat, if I recall, there was 500 commercials played a day in like 1973. Now in current day, it's like 5,000. That was a couple of years ago. Who knows what it is now? But just imagine how many commercials are being beat down our back every day. And then when you look at the amount of credit card debt, it's over a T now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Well, here's the thing, right? So it's interesting you bring those specific topics up. I talk about this often when I talk about like the idea of being brand washed and with how much money brands spend to kind of get in front of consumers now is out of
Billion,
control. So
billion
when you talk about
annually.
when you talk about helping someone with their finances or just like people getting their money right, you are fighting an uphill battle because we're told day in and day out through various ads, whether that's on your social media, whether you're driving down the street and you see billboards, like everywhere you look, there's an ad. I mean, I can't even watch sports now. They got ads on the jerseys right now. It's like people are constantly selling to you nonstop 24/7. And in fact, when you start to do the research, they start this before you're even born. So from the time that you show up on this planet to the time you leave, you're constantly being sold to. So when you're telling someone not to consume, right, it's kind of like counter to what everybody is doing. And then when you add in our history on this land, and you talk about the idea of really psychology of wanting to feel wanted, of wanting to look like you have, it's really tough, man. By the way, this is one of the best books in the finance space, if I do say so myself.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
and it's called The Psychology of Money, right? It's by Morgan Housel. By the way, this is on the list. Go to I've got a list on the stats joint with just different books, but The Psychology of Money. Has anybody read this? I know Kamari has. Anybody in the chat, have you all read this book before?
It's funny.
Timeless lessons on wealth, greed, and happiness. Go ahead.
I think I read it, did a review on it, and never released it.
Well, we know
I
you
know
good
I
for
talked about here
I've
we
actually,
go.
I'm not. I'm be quiet. So I got the physical, I got the Kindle, and I got the audio book. Like, so this is one of the ones, man. This is something that I could recommend, and it goes into the psychology of money, right? Because the thing about money is it's a very emotional thing. Oh, see, Jay said, who's the author? It's Morgan Housel. I'll put a name up here so you can see how it's spelled. You know what I'm saying? So that's it right there. I didn't even realize that was Jason's wig that I gave the joint right here.
Yeah, Jason Swig is pretty dope.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he gave the joint. But yeah, I read
Yep.
his work too. Yeah, so yeah, pay now, buy later is credit cards on steroids. That is the next wave of I told y'all, man, Afterpay and all that, Klarna, blah blah blah.
It's the new god. But I mean, like when you think about retail therapy and the dopamine that is created upon when people are talking about dopamine, I mean retail therapy. Ain't nothing therapeutic about retail. I mean, and it's funny that they've even made that a thing. And people really believe that. So they think actively participating and being broke is therapeutic. Ain't that therapeutic about it? Except for the people who are producing those goods and services.
Man, listen, being broke at 30 give a brother the chills. I learned from Christopher Latour that that's not cool. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta think different. That's all. All right, so let me get to some of these comments real fast, and we're gonna go further into the topic, man. Man, there's a lot of comments on here. You know what I'm saying? We got super chats in it all. Hold on real quick. I'm trying to catch back up.
You know what I think it's all. Yep. All right. Thank you, Dre.
Dre with the super chat. Salute to Dre.
Thank you, sir.
He said, Shannon Sharp.
Hold on. Let's get all the super chats.
I got the earlier ones, though. We already got to that.
But we ain't giving the horns. We got giving the horns. So thank you, Dre.
Pause.
JT. No, ain't no pause, man.
You trying to give JT some horns, like pause, man. You out of control. Anyway, Dre says Shannon Sharp is about to disrespect his budget and spend $250 per cheek on a lawsuit when he could have spent that on West Coast Productions and got the whole roster. Facts. He could have hit up one of the legends on the Mount Rushmore and they'd have been like, look, I'll come through. And he would have had none of this nonsense going on. You know what I'm saying? Cop you a pair of buffs. Listen, I leave that to the Detroit players, man.
Oh, Lord.
Kaz, what's up, Kaz? Kaz in the building. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to brother Kaz, right?
What up?
Speaking of glasses, the overspending, I miss my Cartiers, but that was my past life for me. I'm a changed man. So let me ask you this question, right? So, Ann, Cartiers cost a couple dollars. So, Ann was out here. Ann was getting to
wild book. You see?
Yeah. They cost a couple dollars. So my question is, like, did you move that addiction to something else? Like, if you moved away from the Cartiers, you would change man. What do you spend that money on now? If you don't mind me asking, by the way.
Look at his avatar, bro.
I see it, man. I see it. I see it. He's out of control, yo. He's out of control. He's out of control, man. Out of
This
control.
avatar is absolutely nefarious.
He said, I like that. I'm gonna steal that. No, old man playing young man's game. He's an OG, old goofy. That's what I'm gonna do. Because a lot of folks be out here trying to call themselves OGs, but that's exactly what they are. They be old goofies. He's playing way too much into Uncle Tension. Nate knew his lane. Hey, listen, man. Shannon damn sure ain't no Cuddy. To be almost 60 and deciding to be a social media influencer is crazy.
Well, I don't think he decided that. I don't think he decided it because he was on TV. He was just trying to get on TV.
No, dog, but that's what I'm saying. I agree with Don because that's the difference, right? There's a lot of folks on TV. I don't get the feeling that Ryan Clark is trying to be a social media star. Shannon be in some of these. He be in the shade room comments, dog. He really be on some. The same way he moves is the same way that the YNs move. And I hate using that term, but I mean it just is what it is.
It is what it is.
He be talking Greasy times in his and Ocho show. Dirty old man. Uncle out there tooting it up for OF model. He beyond sick in the head. A 19-year-old OF model, by the way. They provided the hood with financial.
Is she 20 or 19?
She's 20 now. She's 20 now.
No, she's 23 now.
Okay, but I know that they said, yeah, she was 19 when they started their passionate love affair. They provided the hood with financial opportunities. Get a check, take out 100, buy some and flip it. Pay not yet. We got to that part. Not yet. We got to the author. So Kev says, how do I become a member of the investment group? I feel left out over here. All right, Kev, me and you have a WhatsApp chat. I'll send it to you some information in WhatsApp once I get off here. But for those who don't know, we are all members, myself, Corey, and Kamari, of IB Big. You know what I'm saying? IBI Black Investment Group, based out of Philadelphia. But, and we all get together, we invest. We just had a great cash mob this past weekend at one of our members' facilities. So, it is what it is. Don read the book. Unc ain't playing any love of young sister tuition for a brother like Nate. Nate is a healer of the hood. I mean,
Healer? Y'all reckless. Nate's a
so,
straight up.
So Ms. Maui says it's the same as drowning your troubles in liquor. It ain't therapeutic.
Correct. I agree.
Kev said they be therapeutic for the ladies, all respect. 5 $2 payments for a $10 t-shirt from Marshalls is listen. Some of those like Afterpay, Klarna, and whoever, I know it's more than that. Those are the ones I see all the time. Those are nuts. Shannon trying to 10x Skip on a box payment. Yo, Skip offered a chick. What did Skip offer that chick for some yammage? It was something ridiculous.
Wasn't it like 25?
No, he offered like $100K or something crazy. Man.
Dog, it was something worse than that. No, it was worse than $100K. It was something out of control. Anybody know? Yo, somebody put in the chat. What did Skip offer for the Anyway, man, let's keep it moving though. Shannon was supposed to be like Cuddy, prep that good living for the next young blood. Yeah, that's it right there, Steve. Skip offered the young lady 1.5. Listen, Skip offered her. So Jamil said it was 2. We got 1.5 and 2. It was 1.5. We got 2 1.5s. I think it was 1.5. Skip offered a young lady 1.5 mil to spend intimate alone time with her.
How you offer somebody a film and get turned down?
I mean, that reminds me of that reminds me of one of the funniest like tweet threads I think I've ever seen on the internet. And I was on Twitter one day, and a dude that put up a post, right? And he was like, these women out here just showing their bodies on the internet. He was like, you know how hard you had to be to get pictures from women to show this kind of stuff when I was younger? So a chick responded to him trying to be smart, and she was like, that just means that you wasn't that N-word. Because if you was that N-word, you would have been getting pictures like this. And, so all the girls in there was like, ooh, that's crazy. And then boy clapped back at her and made her delete her account. He was like, so I guess all of us are that N-word now. Because now we all see your buns. Yeah, it's one of the craziest threads. Anyway, but to offer somebody 1.5 to 2 M's is absolutely bonkers, yo. And this is where this is part of the problem, man. She got standards, 1.5. I mean, I ain't mad at her. I ain't mad at her. She was like,
I ain't mad either. But
yeah, she like that shit. How irritating she is.
The thing about it is, I heard everybody else was beating like Biz Markie on the, you know what I mean? They was beating box like Biz Markie. And so if you got the whole studio beating box like Biz Markie and you offer her 1 point, how atrocious do you have to be to not?
Yeah, you're a terrible human. She doesn't want to be around you. You're a terrible human. But the other part about that is like this is something I see just in general, right? In outside of this conversation. People don't know how to respond to people who aren't moved by money. Yeah. Right? So when people offer exorbitant amounts of money or they say, I'll pay you to do this, and people that's not moved by money, most people don't know how to react to that because they feel like everybody's moved by money.
Correct.
You know? And that's always an interesting thing because some people just don't care about it. Well, and Revenge of the Nerds backfire.
I had something here for you, Jim. I wanted you to take a quick look at real quick.
You cooking up some slander.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Willow Ryder, Ricky Johnson, Jada Stevens, and Sarah Banks.
Yo, what is this?
I'm sure that's on Jim's Mount Rushmore.
I don't know any of those people, man.
I'm sure somebody in the chat does, though.
Not me. I'm not familiar with any of those bodies of work.
Whatever.
Skip got turned down because he looks like Norman Osborn. My Cartier era was unique. I was making money a different way and in a different time. No double jeopardy. Changed me. I respect it, brother. I'm just saying, like, you know, you had to be of a certain ilk to walk around with Cartiers on, dog. Yeah, I mean, all money ain't good money, and all that glitters ain't gold. These are absolute facts. Absolute facts. See, Don don't even know who those people are, man.
Don know everybody.
If you know, you know.
Kamari went looking for that slander, by the way, y'all. I just want y'all to know that he listen. I know he's about to try to cook me. He get low real quick. He get a little quiet, and he pop back up like, I got a video for you real quick. He trying to. I see. Listen, bro. It's all good though. We fine. It's all good.
Okay. All right.
It's all good. And by the way, Don said those folks you showed are G League players in that game.
But he knows. That's all I'm saying. He knows. He knows.
So listen, everybody, listen.
Like when you talk about spending, burning out, I mean, flex culture, Shay is kind of flexing on folks, right? A little bit. Is that what's happening? Because that's what some people are saying.
Listen, man. We do have a problem, but again, it's very difficult to have this conversation because I understand why certain things happen. Doesn't mean that they should happen. It's an uphill battle, and I think that's what the issue is. The issue is, you know, sometimes I sit around and look at all the videos and content we create, the work that we do, and I'm like, man, people have heard all this. They know all this. Like, you know, what am I doing? But then sometimes I get out in the real world, and it's like, we don't really get it. Yeah, we need 15 million Black Wolf rebels, huh? Go ahead, Kamar. Oh, Corey, I'm sorry. What's that?
I disagree with Kamari about their retail not being therapy, and here's why.
Because you could buy Yamage.
And I'm not saying that it should be therapy, but I'm saying that it is, and here's why. You worked all week. You made $500, right? You buy yourself a pair of $100 Jordans. Does it make you feel better? Well, not $100 Jordans, but $200 Jordans. Even though it is financially irresponsible, does it make you feel better?
Crack makes you feel better too. I mean, come on, Corey. Okay, you're smarter than that.
But listen, you said it's not therapeutic, and I'm saying it is therapeutic.
Crack's not therapeutic, Corey. I'm sorry.
It is, and listen, man.
Crack is therapeutic. Oh man, that's a bar.
And listen,
y'all funny, yo. T-shirt dropping soon. Crack is therapy.
Listen, I'll tell you this. right? We always talk about don't work for free, right? Now we always talk about
I don't say that,
money
but
I do.
Listen,
I don't.
I'll tell you like this. If I go to a job and everybody else getting paid, I gotta get paid too. I am not going nowhere where everybody's working and getting paid and you're not going to pay me. That's not happening.
That's fine.
So if we're doing charity work is something different. I don't expect to get paid for charity work. If I'm doing something for the kids, I don't expect to get paid because I'm doing it for the kids. But if I take my ass to any job, you're going to pay me or I'm not. It doesn't make any sense. Job. It's called a job for a reason. If I'm going to work and I'm gonna be just over broke, you're going to pay me so I can be just over broke. You're not going to have me in there doing nothing for free. I don't work at no job. I don't do anything at a job for free. You got to pay me. Interns are stupid. I don't do
They are not
internships.
stupid.
Damn.
There are a lot of interns.
Corey clapping at everybody now. Corey is bagging like his birthday coming up. He just let it. I don't know about calling him stupid.
No, listen to me. I don't think there should be any job that people do working wage they shouldn't be able to do it. If you can't pay them to do it, then you shouldn't be having people do it. And I'm not talking about listen, I'm not talking about the interns being stupid. I'm talking about the people.
You already said it though, so it's out there. It's out there.
What I'm talking about is that whole situation, right? If you create a job that can only be done for free, that's bullshit.
But that's all right. So hold on, let me move over here real quick. Move over to Corey. So listen, I worked a job for free. I still work for free. I was an intern and I work for free. Listen, giving service, giving value back out to there is a great thing. It's one of the greatest marketing ploys ever known to man. Speaking of crack, how do so many people get caught on crack? Somebody gave it to them for free.
Tester, the little tester.
Right. You know, so again.
Allegedly, I don't know about that life.
Thank God, Jimmy walked the street now. But hold on. When you go to every mall in America has got an Asian buffet somewhere. And they give it, but that's still free. So again, when you say free doesn't work, they work for that.
After the sample, what are they trying to do? After the sample, what are they trying to do?
No, Corey, you didn't say that, sir. You just said free was stupid. An intern is working for free.
No.
Is working for free.
You left out the operative word.
What was the operative
word? The word was working. The operative word was working. You can't.
Interns work for free. Interns work for free, right? Because they want to get experience. Number one. Okay, I disagree. I'm gonna tell you why. Especially for new people who are just trying to break into an industry, they don't have a portfolio. They're not proven. They have to prove themselves and their value. And I would say the person who created that job to have somebody work for free is predatory.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think because interns are unique. Listen, I've had an internship before. It's not predatory because what we're talking about is value, and there's value.
We're talking about somebody.
Hold on, Corey.
Energy.
All right.
Yeah, but you're giving them. So if I create $1 billion brand, and I know that me giving you an internship will allow you to land your feet somewhere else, I'm giving you value. It may not be monetarily, but the fact that I let you to put on your resume that you work for X company, that is going to. So there's several internships. People have got internships at Goldman Sachs, and then their next job they went and made $500,000 because of that internship. Right. It's like that value that they gave by you being able to use that name is better than any money you could have paid them. So internships do have value. It's a value for value exchange. I think a lot of times when we look at exchange, right, we don't understand like we're exchanging value. It doesn't necessarily have to be dollars and cents. There's a value associated with being with certain brands.
My thing is this. And I understand the point that y'all making. I still think it's predatory.
If someone just said in the chat to answer that, if you could come out and you're looking for a job and on your resume you did an internship for Google or Apple or Facebook or Amazon, Listen, you can write your own ticket. I've done political internships, and honestly,
And listen, I've
I've made money with free internships based upon connections that internship allowed me to have. So I get it.
Listen. I understand the point that y'all making. I still don't. I know. No.
Because the value is there. My thing is the value is there. So if I know the value is there, I don't have to pay you dollars and cents because I'm giving you something that dollars and cents. Listen, there's certain things in life dollars and cents can't get you.
All right, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
100% correct. I'm not.
Hold on, Corey. Let me ask you a question. Hold on, Corey. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Warren Buffett says, Corey, you're a genius. I want you to come work with me, but I'm not going to pay you.
If he's not going to pay me, I'm not going to move.
Okay.
You can stop the question.
Can I get the gig? I'm just trying to get left in the will. I mean, he almost a bean. I'm just trying to get left in the will or something.
Listen, I'm not saying that y'all listen. My personal standard is if everybody else around me is getting paid, you gotta pay me.
Why are you counting other people's pockets?
Well, I just think it's more strategic than that. I just think it's more strategic, right? So you're not going to give me an internship at a poppy store, right? I'm not taking an internship at a poppy store. But you tell me that I have to do an internship at somewhere where I know,
listen,
right? I remember
infinite amount of work for free. We do
I know that.
infinite amount of work for free. But state up front that this is free work. So I don't have any problem doing that. Right? I don't have any problem doing free work if nobody's getting paid. But if we're doing free work and you get paid, I'm going to be mad as shit because how he get paid for free work and I ain't get paid? No, absolutely the fuck not. If somebody around me is getting paid to do what I'm doing, I got to get paid. I'm just not doing it for free if everybody else around me is getting paid.
All I'm saying is I'm talking about just value in internships. I just know there's value in internships. If you look at, I mean, it's played itself out so many times. Like in terms of our highest income earners in this country, a lot of them come through internships. Like whether it's the tech companies, whether it's the big finance companies, because that value is not about dollars. It's about value.
Listen, I'll tell you this.
Would you rather somebody pay you $20 an hour or
that value? And I'm not saying that the companies can't do that. I still
thank you, brother. Thank you. Chris Gardner worked for free. Matter of fact, Kanye worked for free. Right?
Kanye, Chris Gardner. I mean, Sean, we can't bring his name up no more because he muddied his name. But how he got his name in the business what was it? He did an internship, Uptown Record internship. I mean, listen, I'm not even going into the hip hop. I'm talking about literally, because first of all, every big CEO, executive in hip hop had an internship. Like that's just what it is. But outside of the ones that came off the corner, but what I'm talking about is in the finance world, right? Having an internship at Goldman Sachs, having an internship, for the big tech companies. Listen, clerking for a judge. Correct. You clerk for a judge. You write your ticket. You write in a partnership.
You get paid to do that. You get paid to clerk for judges.
Sometimes. Sometimes. No. Not all the time. Not you do not all the time get paid to clerk for a judge. No, you don't. I know that for a fact because I got offered a clerkship for a judge for free. I didn't do it, but you don't always get paid. But what I'm saying is when you clerk for a judge, even if it is free, I'm just saying because the value is there. So when you make your next move, it's like, oh, you were able to parlay. Because first of all, a lot of these internships are competitive to begin with. You can't even just get an internship.
Listen, man.
And I'll say this. I think more Black youth should go work for free somewhere, get some skills, get some value, and then go out into the marketplace. Everybody's wanting to get paid. They thinking short term. They're not thinking. They're not thinking long term.
That's not short term thinking because. My thing is, you gotta. If you're going to spend time doing something, you gotta. If you're going to spend time doing something, right, and it's not set up for it to be free, you should be getting paid to do it.
What if you offer no value whatsoever? You're just a body.
The thing is, if they're willing to hire you as an intern, they should be willing to hire you to pay you.
Pay you at what scale?
I'm sorry.
So have you ever worked an internship, Corey?
I have.
Okay. Did you get any value from it?
I did.
Do you think you got more value or less value than the amount that you were paid at?
I got less value than I was paid at because they should have paid me to do the internship.
Okay. I got more value.
They should have paid me. I'm not saying, listen, man, because when you like I did plenty of internships, especially when I was trying to become a teacher. So you gotta do internships. But I felt like I was getting played the whole time. I felt like I was getting played the whole time.
All right, now we're a little off topic. Before you were telling us why retail therapy is therapeutic.
It is therapeutic because my thing is you get a feeling of euphoria and you feel better about yourself because you spent the time to work for the money. And because if you spent the time to make the money and then you spend it on something and you got something for yourself, it feels good. So that's feeling good is therapeutic. And I'm not saying, listen, it also feels good to smoke crack and it also feels good to drink, C&J, right? But I'm not saying it's a good use of money, but I'm not, but it is also, but I'm not saying it's a good use of money. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I am saying that it is therapeutic. I'm not saying that you should do that at all, but buying something for yourself to make yourself feel good, period.
So I guess the question is, and again, I don't have an opinion one way or the other. That's to me, it sounds like to be a subjective thing because how do you define therapeutic? Is just feeling good therapeutic? So that's really the answer to this question. Like, what does it mean? What does therapeutic actually mean? Let's look at the definition of therapeutic.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Because I think that's the answer to the question. I don't know. Again, to me, it sounds a little bit subjective. Because if we're using that as the benchmark, it's a lot of things that are therapeutic then.
It is. And listen, things that give you comfort. If it gives you comfort, it is therapeutic. It brings you from one place to another.
Right up. Definition coming right up. Fully loaded. Therapeutic, relating to the healing of disease. The branch
so that's not therapeutic then.
The branch of medicine concerned with the treatment of a disease and the action of remedial agents. Did I say that right?
It is remediating something.
A treatment, therapy, or drug. More definite.
So remediating something means that it's healing something. It's taking something that was broken and making it feel better. Therapeutic is remediating something.
So I would say this, right? So therapy, again, is supposed to be bringing healing. Now we can debate healing. But a lot of times people have traumas that they have locked away and they're trying to push to the side. So they go shop because they feel bad. Why not take that money and go to therapy, which will give you lasting results?
I didn't say it was a good use of money. I just said it was, again, you're conflating the two things. I didn't say it was a good use of money. I never said it was a good use of money. I think it's a terrible use of money.
Y'all wallowed in the comments.
I think it's a terrible use of money. Let's be very clear. Retail therapy is a terrible use of money.
Okay.
It's also therapeutic.
But I mean, again, going back to the topic, right, as it relates to Black folks, we know why people are looking for those dopamine hits, those quote unquote therapeutic hits, right? You got a lot of people who have trauma, been locked out of access, couldn't live where we wanted to live, couldn't work where we wanted to work, couldn't invest where we wanted to invest.
You couldn't have the things that you saw on the TV. You couldn't.
Or not only that, right? Let's go deeper than that. Like a buddy of mine was down in Florida and he went and saw some old schoolhouses from when Frederick Douglass helped to build them. They're still in existence now. So, I mean, we're talking about the bare basics, right? Books and schools, right? A lot of times we didn't have that. And when you look at what civil rights kind of really was the battleground it was schools. We was trying to get education. And so a lot of times we couldn't even get that. Let's not even talk about food. How many food deserts do we still live in as we speak about as a community. I mean, so yeah, there's a lot of problems, man. A lot of problems.
Yeah, man. Listen, I y'all are not saying something that's wrong, right? It's not. Spending money on stuff that you don't need is terrible, right? We're not advocating for that. I'm not advocating for that specifically. But what I'm saying is, if there are reasons, then that means we have to get to the root causes of it, right? It's like chopping down a tree and not killing the roots. The tree gonna grow back. If you chop down shrubs and you don't kill the roots, it's gonna grow back, right? So we got to get down into the weeds and we got to pull it out from the roots, right? Or we got to kill the roots of it, and to kill the roots of it is to make people feel better about themselves that they don't use retail as therapy. You see what I'm saying? Like, how do we get people to a place that they don't use retail as therapy? Like, how do we make people feel better? How do we make people feel better about themselves? But this is what I was trying to say from the beginning. How do you get people to a point where they don't need to retail their therapy?
How do you break the cycle?
Yeah, how do you go from us spending, we're being turned into liquid money. Black people are known as, liquid money as consumers. How do we go from a consumer base where
Jim, are you listening to your glasses?
No. What happens? No, what happens is I got a notification on my phone. So sometimes, like when a notification on my phone, the glasses will tell me I got a notification. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, Corey. I'm sorry.
I didn't know. I didn't even know you could hear that. I got to turn it down. I didn't even hear that.
Glasses all night, bro.
I'm not listening to it. No. When a notification comes across and say, "Hey, you have a text message," so that's all that was.
I understand that all night. I'm saying right or wrong. I'm just
I'm actually listening to what Corey is saying.
No, all I'm saying is this: how do we let's get into the problem solving mode, right? We make people feel better about themselves that retail therapy will only be a small, like, because people still won't do it, right? We there's no eliminating anything, right? Like this is not an infectious disease. People are going people, so you're going to have some of it. But how do we take it to where it's the norm to where it's an anomaly, right?
I think they can all learn from Jim. They can all learn from Jim. Just say pause. Every time.
I was waiting to see where he was going with that. I knew it was some sort of slander.
Every time you go to make a purchase, just say pause.
There's a lot, but see, we're talking. See, the thing about this is we're talking about feelings, right? And so I told y'all something the other day. That stands always going to stand true. People don't remember exactly what you said to them, but they'll remember exactly how they felt about what you said to them.
Correct.
Right. So how do you make it so that people can feel better about themselves, right? What kind of life do we speak into people that cycle? What kind of actions can we take that help that cycle, right? So what do we do? Right? Because we've got conditioning. Our conditioning got conditioning, right? And then we're being asked to spend money all day through advertisements, right? So what do we do to fend off those advertisements and not spend our money? Do we disconnect? Do we reconnect? Like, do we go more into, like, what I do when I want to get away from that kind of stuff? I go into the real world. I just disconnect from this fake, online world, and I just go into the real world, talk to real people. You know what I mean? Like, that makes me.
You asked a lot of questions, so I think that there's still a lot of education that has to happen, right? Because most people don't even recognize that this thing is a problem, or that consumerism is an issue, or how much they're being marketed to. Most people don't even understand the conversations we're having. They don't understand that it's a thing. I think that's part of it. The other part is we have to get to the root of it, which is why. Why do people feel the need? Like, what are they escaping from that they're trying to heal or get this quote unquote therapy, right? because it's not everybody, right? Some people aren't really caught up in the matrix, so to speak. So you got to get people, got to get people out of the matrix. And the fact of the matter is, to your point, you're never going to be able to save everybody, but you got to find your tribe and build with your tribe. That's the point of the village, which you can go in by going to blackwealthrebels.com. But the point is, you got to find your tribe and build with your tribe. You're never going to be able to save everybody. Some people will always remain in the matrix. This is why the Matrix is one of the illest movies of all time, right?
One of the illest.
Yeah, it just is because there's so many like
It
ways
might be the
to watch.
best movie of all time.
That's tough.
But because of
It's so real.
But it's a lot. It's a lot of great movies, though, dog. Like, no, I'm not saying you're wrong because you can make the argument. But I'm just talking about when you say it's the greatest movie of all time. I had so many movies come across my mind thinking about that, like Shawshank Redemption.
It's not my favorite
like
movie,
The Godfather, Pinky versus Cherokee.
Did y'all peep that SW quote?
What quote? What you talking about?
Pinky versus Cherokee.
That's a movie, allegedly. But no, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of great movies though that you think of when you talk about the greatest movies. But the Matrix got to be up there though. You know what I'm saying? All right, we get back to the comments real fast, man, because we got a lot of comments to catch up on, man. Only job I ever done for free was a DJ, attempting to get on only one show though. Yeah, a lot of rappers do free shows when they try and get on. Ant says I create SQL videos, or SQL, on YouTube for people learning databases and data. I don't mind not being monetized. I feel good when people say they love the channel and how they learn. Yeah, interns work for experience.
Hold on, Jimmy, go back to Andog, please. Andog, what is your channel? Please put it in the chat. I don't know if I follow it. I want to follow it.
I do. I actually watch some of his videos. Shout out to Ant.
Well, I need to check this out. So please put that in the chat, please, sir.
Yeah, man.
Go, Jim.
Interns work for experience. Value can be exchanged for more than just money. That's kind of what I was trying to say. Like, there's a lot of value. Value for value. Yeah, internship. Any FANG company. I did internship $10 an hour 20 years ago. I did get paid. My mother was like, you can't afford to work for free. She didn't pull up Umar, Unction, and Sharp got snowboarding again. I saw that on Twitter. I saw a clip of it. So Don says, I understand Corey not doing it at your age now, but what about 35 years ago? I mean, how old do you think Corey is? 35 years ago, Corey couldn't get working papers. How old do you think Corey is, yo? Anyway. One thing that sucks is that sometimes you can't get an internship without a 4-year degree. A lot of our people can't work for free after college, or they'll have to work. And this is the problem, right? With, and when I say this, I mean in the grand scheme of things. This is the problem with our folks not having money. It's because other people are able to take advantage of those internships where they can not make any money, and we can't do that because we don't have aunts and uncles and and grandfathers with a bunch of money to kind of float us. So, Corey, what about an apprenticeship? Do you look at apprenticeship as being different than internship?
And I just subscribed.
No, not really. I mean, you should be getting paid to do apprenticeships. No.
The youth definitely should do some free internships for experience. By the way, despite what Corey says, the Black Wealth Rebels internship program will be coming soon. We need some free workers out there. I'm joking. A rapper, quote, we in them stores daily buying the latest. Yeah, like this is rap culture. Unc said it was therapeutic to pay $25,000 for each sheet.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Who changed their thumbnail?
That's Anthony. Listen, you missed the whole thing, though. Me and Corey already laughed and made jokes about that while you was looking at slander.
I told you, my man.
Yeah, come on, Kamari was in
I told you. He changed the word. My man is nefarious out here.
Nefarious of that. Okay.
Listen, that's because Kamari was looking up slander while we was laughing at this earlier. Kamari's like too busy trying to cook us. I spent $68 in Marshalls 2 weeks ago. After I put $500 in my brokerage, I felt amazing. I got some dope ass pieces. Nice.
There we go.
Ribeyes at Texas Roadhouse. People gonna swipe that plastic for that dopamine hit. Listen, I ain't mad at you, dog. The Texas Roadhouse ribeye kind of go hard with the bread too, but I digress. I might. You know what I'm saying? Was retail therapy even the thing before the influx of cheaper product availability? That's a great question. Because consumerism and capitalism, like in terms of how they affected us. So when people didn't have the means to do this stuff, I guess retail therapy was a thing for
That is
those that could afford it.
that is a great question.
Listen, this is a great point too. $35 gym memberships helps with making people feel better about themselves. Not going to the gym, but when they get that membership, because they know in their head, psychology is a mug, yo. Almost like another hidden coordinated attack on the community. I think we really need to disconnect. Thinking about food and car commercials, they paint a pic that you work hard, you deserve to have this or that. You work hard, that's true, but you may not need to splurge right now. All right, so from my world, right?
Correct. I mean, go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry.
And I'm pretty sure you can speak to this too as a tax accountant. From my world in the real estate space, you know how many clients I've sat down with, and we're trying to get them, set up with property or what have you, and they got all these issues with their spending, and they hit me with, man, I work hard, I gotta treat myself. I'm like, dude, but now you can't get the home that you and your family need because you were treating yourself. So,
Correct.
hope you enjoy treating yourself. So I hear it all the time, and I'm pretty sure you hear it from the tax side.
Oh, I see it all the time. I'm inundated with it all the time. But going to Still Rocks 33, what he said about disconnecting. Like, one of the things I like to do that's therapeutic for me, I love to go in the park sometimes. I haven't been doing it as much as I like to do it, but I like to go into the park sometimes with music, sometimes with no music, and disconnect from everything because we're overstimulated. All of us are. Even us doing this show, right? Sometimes we don't need all this. Sometimes we just need to turn all this shit off. And that's what I do a lot of times just to stay sane. I
do that too. Most of the time when I do that, I got I ain't gonna lie, I still got an audio book on though. That's my twist. Like, give me a nice little audible book and get out the way.
Now, sometimes I'll just go and listen to nature. I'll listen to the wind blowing or the stream.
You talking about on the Firm album or his solo mixtape?
I'm talking about out in Valley Green and Fairmount Park, brother.
Oh, I thought you was talking about nature. You know what I'm saying? Who get yams from his father's features.
Not nature.
Okay, my bad.
The rapper nature talking about is dope.
SQL with AJ.
I just subscribed. Everybody go subscribe to SQL with AJ.
Everybody go subscribe to SQL with AJ. We want to support our brother's channel, man. Go subscribe right now. SQL with AJ, man. Learn about them databases, man. Speaking of movies, anyone see Senate? So Lorraine, we talked about that when we first came on. So I got a couple of. So here's the thing, right? Me and Corey already have our tickets. Me, Corey, Monica, and Tracy will all be there. We'll all be there tomorrow evening to see Sinners, right? We were all supposed to go as a family, right? Until Kamari was like, "Oh no, I already saw it," right? Kamari sold us out. Because tomorrow is Corey's birthday. We said we was gonna meet up and go see Sinners, and Kamari was like, "F Corey, I'm gonna go see it," but without y'all. So Kamari already saw it, but I held firm. So we'll see it tomorrow, with my brother. You know what I'm saying? So Friday we're gonna talk about it. Matter of fact, we're gonna make Friday's show about Sinners, man.
Yes, we are. But after Jim did all that blabbiscating and blah, 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 my anniversary was yesterday. So I went to the movies with my family, my wife, to celebrate on our precious day. And I'm going to try to go tomorrow, too.
Oh, you didn't go yesterday. You went before yesterday. Cut it out. You didn't go last night.
I went the day before yesterday. It's all celebration.
See what I mean? See, listen, I gotta call you on your BS. You didn't go on Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. Wednesday. You didn't go on Tuesday.
I went Monday.
Yeah. I know.
Listen, man,
after we said we was all gonna meet up, but I digress. It's fine. Listen, you don't mess with us. It's cool.
Why you hating on Black Love, man?
Listen, you are David Ruffin, and I get it. I know my place, President.
I understand why Jim always mentioned SWs now. Because he hates Black love. Real Black love, by the way.
Whoa, slow down.
Wow.
That's a big step, bro. Like,
wow.
Right, going over there with the crack, man. You said crack was good. You told us that crack is white.
Stay over here with the crack.
He said what he said was crack is therapy. But listen, I love Black love. Because first of all, right, you try to paint this picture about me and SWs, and I'm not into that. I'm not in that world, right?
I have to paint the picture.
I just support all Black businesses. And by the way, you've never once heard me mention a white SW, by the way, have you?
But that's because you don't like West.
Because it's not about SWs. It's about me standing up for a community that you disrespect. I believe in supporting all black
Y'all see
people.
that narrative? Y'all see that narrative he's trying to paint?
I believe in supporting all black people across the diaspora and across the spectrum of all blackness. I love all blackness.
Well, remember that the next time you're watching gay porn.
Whoa! Yo, you are out of pocket.
You support all black people, right? So
listen, I don't engage in that, but if that's what they want to do,
okay, all right.
They can do that. That's their life. Black joy.
Sinners was amazing.
Do your thing, baby. Do your thing.
Sinners was amazing, and I'll just say this: it was about black love. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, leave it at that, man. Let us go see the movie. We're gonna talk about it on Friday. Friday is Sinners, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I'm stopping at the bit. I want to talk about it, and I'm not saying pause for that. The movie was excellent. It was really excellent, yo.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna leave it at that because we don't want no spoilers. Because we was all set to go watch this family, but Kamari told us F us. It's all good, pause. All right, Still Rock says happy anniversary to you.
Thank you.
Sinners was a good time. Yeah, we definitely want to discuss Friday. Yeah, definitely pause that. I'll be watching NFL draft tomorrow, so Sinners last Friday. So Miss Maui, where you think that Deion Sanders is gonna go, man? That's all I really care about, though. I want to see what the young man. Where's Shador? Shador, not Shakur. Come on, man.
I don't know how to say his name. I've got it wrong. I'm sorry.
You sound like the other folks. They all look alike.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that.
Yeah. Anyway, where y'all think the young man is going? Corey, where you think he's going, bro? I know Corey already over there betting right now. Where you think he's going, bro? Forget what team. Which round you think he's going in?
I think he's going in the first round.
Really? Okay.
If I had to bet, $1 to a dime,
top 5.
And this might surprise people, and it's a team that nobody talks about. I think the Dolphins going to take him.
Okay.
I think
the
Dolphins going to take him as insurance for Tua.
Okay. All right, and ask a question. Damn, come on. All right, what about SWs that participate in race play? Like, am I only going for what? Nah, listen, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, man.
Oh, so you don't support them?
Listen, they can do their thing, but they got to do their thing over there, man. Because my thing is this, all right? I support our folks that support our folks. You know what I mean? Because there's some folks out here, and I'm not even talking about specifically in that space. I'm talking about in general. This is a conversation for in general. There are a lot of our folks, man, that's worse than some of them other folks. Shador is Raiders bound. By the way, for those who don't know, Kev is a huge Raiders fan, so I'm not paying any mind to this comment because I already know what that's about. Kev is out Vegas now, so I already know what this is about. That's not about reality. That's about what he wants to happen. Now, if it does happen, congratulations.
I mean, he manifested it, man. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt it.
Listen, man, I'd be sad for him because if he does, he's probably gonna break his leg the first game because the Raiders are cursed. Anyway, Tom Brady has been training him for 2 years. Listen, Tom Brady is his OG. He wants to be Tom Brady, probably to a fault. Anyway, with all that being said, though, the draft is tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that. But so we're gonna see Sinners, then we're gonna talk about it on Friday, man. In terms of our overall conversation tonight, it was interesting to see. I got a lot of information that I didn't know about you brothers. I didn't know that Corey thought the internships were for fools. I knew Kamari sold us out, but now he's like doubling down on selling us out, for tomorrow. But it's all good, though. The book recommendation this evening is this, though, right here. The Psychology of Money. For those that haven't got this book, I recommend this book. This is an excellent book. I think in terms of finance book, this is definitely a top 10 in my library personally, right? Personally. It's by Morgan Housel, right? Personally. We got to do our top 10. I know we talked about books that inspired us, but what are our top 10, though? Yeah, come up with top 10 books. Top 10. Matter of fact, let's make it top 5 and make it strictly in finance, though.
Well, hold on. Before we go too fast.
Not now. I'm talking about a whole show.
Right. Before we go too fast, I mean, what other ways do y'all think we can help people, or ways you think will stop people from overspending and being caught up in consumerism?
Again, I don't know where you've been. Me and Corey had a whole conversation about that while you was looking for slander. But you're not going to be able to stop everybody. So that's the first thing. You have to live with the fact that you're not going to be able to save everybody. You have to get people to understand what's actually happening, right? Before you can attack a problem, you got to know that the problem exists. I mean, there's a war going on outside no man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever. But the fact is, that's the first step. Then after that, you really have to break down and explain to people why this is a problem. Like, because the thing about this problem is it leads into all kinds of other problems, right? Even the internship problem. The reason the reason a lot of us don't have the ability, outside of generationally speaking, we don't have any money because the government stole all of our wealth. But that's a whole other show too. Um,
That's
when
true.
you talk, when you talk about like some of our spending that becomes problematic, then we don't have resources to allow people to take the time. Speaking of, you know, time, um, to be able to participate in different things that will elevate you and your family and your culture. So it's a big problem.
So, I mean, some of the things I would suggest is I think journaling is a good thing. I think, going deep within and being a bit more introspective about some of the things that's going on in your life and just analyzing some of your feelings, I think can help and go a long way. I totally agree with Jim and Corey, though. You got to recognize that it's a problem. And a lot of times to do that, you got to take a step back from everything because most people don't even realize it's a problem. So that's one thing you got to do. And that one big word that everybody hates, I think budgeting can go a long way, especially if you're just a regular person just trying to make it from the bottom to the top. One of the biggest things you can do is control your money and make your dollars, your bullets, your weapons, your guns. So
But it, like any problem that's psychological, it got to start with acceptance. You have to accept that it's a
you
problem.
got to acknowledge it.
Because if it don't start with acceptance, then you just not. It's not going to get solved. Because if a person that there's ugly people that don't think they're ugly, right? But you can't fix ugly. And I'm talking about inside. See, y'all laughing. Y'all think I'm talking about the outside, but I'm talking about inside, right?
Way to clean it up, Cora. Way to clean it up.
They don't think they ugly. But man, listen, you never really hear me talk about people's physical appearance because I don't that's something most people can't control. But if you people don't think they ugly, right? But then when you get them to realize that they are ugly, then they change the way that they think, behave, and act, right? You know, again, it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. It's not about what you say, it's about how people feel about what you say, right? Donald, the Donald is a master of that. It's not about what you say, it's about how people feel about what you say, right? So it goes both ways, right? My man riled up a base and made himself president on that premise. So you gotta be very careful. I think it's about the environment, right? And I'm in a micro and a macro sense. The personal environment, the environment that the parents provide, and then the community environment, right, where people speak life into people and not downplay them and downgrade them. So we got to work on that, man. We got to work on community, right? We got to, our kids is in these schools, clowning other kids because they don't got $200 sneakers. That's a retail therapy problem, right? You got poor people trying to front for other poor people. You got poor people stunting for poor people. You know what I mean? Like that's a problem. We got to work on that psychology. We gotta have the acceptance and then work on that psychology before we can get anything else done. So we got to work on acceptance. We got to let people know that's an ugly behavior, and you have to accept that it's ugly before you can beautify it.
Gotcha.
You got to call a pig and not try to call it, try to call it something cuter than a pig. That's a pig. You know what I mean?
Bars.
All right.
Bars.
Yeah. Leave it at that, man. You know what I'm saying? Leave it at that, man. Listen, everybody, make sure you join the village by going to blackwealthrebels.com. Make sure to pull up Friday. I mean, we're going to talk about sinners on Friday. So make sure to pull up on Friday. Kamari is going to give his Mount Rushmore of, a
Here
couple
we
different
go.
items.
Here
And
we
we're going
go.
to talk about sinners. So, that's what it is, man. Mount Rushmore of black leaders.
Everybody
I
gonna
ain't
say
seen
the same ones.
I ain't seen nobody cook that up yet. Maybe I'll cook that up to go viral with that one. What you think? Because you know how I'm gonna go viral. Because I'm gonna cook up one that's By the way, when I say this, I don't want y'all to hold me to this because it's gonna be intentional. Of course, I'm gonna put MLK, Malcolm, Marcus, and then I'm gonna draw and put somebody like Charleston White on it just so it can go viral. You think that'll go viral?
Do it. Do it tonight.
That's pure troll. That's pure troll duggery, though. You know what I'm saying? It's pure troll duggery. I'm just out here serving troll house cookies.
Absolutely.
I mean, Charleston White is a troll, though. I mean, so
I'm saying that's living under a bridge trolling though. Like that's not even like that's living under a bridge trolling, bro. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna piss
I'm
off so
going
many.
mad
It's gonna piss off. It's gonna piss off so many of my Hotep folks on my timeline.
My sense of humor is dark. I'm gonna laugh because my sense of humor is,
And plus, I'm trolling, but there's gonna people that's gonna take it so. The funny thing about it is people that's gonna take it serious and they're gonna write dissertations about it, and I'm out here just literally trolling.
let's go. Let's do it. Where we gonna start it off at? Twitter, or excuse me, X. We going to Instagram.
Hey, listen, man, X gonna give it to you. Pause.
Lord have mercy. Jimmy ain't gonna do it. He's scared. He's scared.
Look, you see this?
He's
What am I scared
scared.
of?
Go ahead, do it,
Troll
man. Do
duggery,
it.
man.
for what?
Yeah, well, yeah. Come on, man. Come on,
All
man.
right, well, do it
Anyway,
then. You ain't scared. Do it.
hey, listen, Black Queens Forever. You already know. Hey, Ant already know what it is, man. Listen, so pull up on Friday, y'all. I thought you was gonna say Shannon is a fourth person.
Yo.
I might put him on a Mount Rushmore of Goofies. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Goofy Mount Rushmore. Yeah, but I gotta think of what has more virality. Like, what will be more drawn? Like, obviously
I think Shannon for the times and the relevancy.
yeah, you talking about some little SEO work because I was gonna put like Kevin Gates on the joint with like Dr. King,
Nah.
Dr. King, Malcolm, Kevin Gates, and Boosie. I'm just trying to think of. I'm trying to think of virality, man.
That's drawn.
That's the point, though. The point is the troll. Anyway, y'all, listen, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. BlackWealthRebels.com, BlackWealthRebels.com. Go check out the new episode of Stacks and Die Trying, which is back there now. Not available anywhere else, but in the village. Share the village with your family or friends. Reach out to us. You got any questions, concerns, need help with anything? And that's
Jim,
true. Miss Mallory's right. Most people are going to recognize Kevin Gates because she's one of those people. I respect that.
And Jim, don't you have some other content dropping in the village soon?
Yeah, man, I'm working on the first episode of the Row House Report. You know what I'm saying? That's dropping soon. I've been putting some final touches on that. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be back there soon, man. It's
And
to
some
the
other
village
things will be
first.
dropping it tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah, I do got some. We got a bunch of content dropping. We got content dropping tomorrow. We definitely got content dropping tomorrow. So if you're in the village, you'll see it. It's gonna pop up right in your feed. You'll get the little email. We got some content dropping tomorrow. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. That's tomorrow, Thursday, and then Friday we'll be live talking about sinners. Sunday we're gonna be back in the building. Last Sunday was Easter. Shout out to those that celebrate Easter. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I was actually working on Easter. I was showing the crib, and there's a church around there. I was on like 25th and Cecil B. Moore. The pastor over there was going so crazy. I heard him from outside. I was like, this is like his Super Bowl. Lines of cars was wrapped around the corner, and he was yelling so loud. I was like, I wonder how much money they make just on Easter Sunday at churches. Just that one day, how much money is made across the nation?
Some of them make nothing. Some of them make
Really,
yes.
really. What do
Listen,
you
all
think?
churches don't make money.
honestly
I mean,
I mean, obviously, I know that, but I'm talking about those that make money though. What do you think Joel Osteen made on Easter Sunday?
it's ridiculous. Joe Osteen is ridiculously paid. It's
I'm
ridiculous.
talking about those that get to the chicken. I was just sitting there thinking about it.
TD Jakes is ridiculous.
What do you think TD pulled in on Easter Sunday?
I can't even comprehend it.
Just a thought, y'all. Anyway, just thinking out loud. You know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to Sharon, but I'm just thinking out loud. Anyway, man, see y'all Friday at 7 p.m. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. BlackWealthRebels.com. Black Queens Forever. You know the rest. Peace, y'all.
Later, y'all.